Hi, everyone. Come on in. Thank you for joining us today. I apologize about the tardiness. Come on in. We're going to go ahead and get started. So while you are coming in today, I want you to set the intention for what you would like to get out of today's webinar training. So to make sure that you are here at the right place, I am just going to go ahead and share my screen quickly. I think one of the things that you're going to learn about me is I actually like to talk more than do presentations, right? But you are in the right place if you are here joining because you want to either one, get more sponsorship dollars for your business or cause, or two, you are looking to optimize your dollars as a business owner. So to help me just get a sense of who you are, I'd like you to really just type in the chat for me what your business name is and what you do. And then also let me know in the chat, are you looking to get sponsorship dollars or are you looking to optimize your dollars? Okay, that's going to help me just know who here is live. And everyone's going to get a replay of this afterwards. But the beauty of you being here live is that you get to ask me questions at any point in time. So don't be shy and feel free to do that. Okay. So help me understand what your business is, what you are looking to do. Okay, so we have a couple of different businesses here. Hi, Jim. Tell me what your business does. Okay, I see a couple of other folks here. Okay, this is really helpful. Okay. And then the last thing that I want you to do is really elevate your attitude. Even though this webinar is about me walking through the 5 P's of sponsorships, I really want you to come into this space. I want to encourage you and challenge you to figure out, how can I show up today to learn from Elizabeth and really add increase to everyone here? The beauty of you being here live is that not only do you get to ask me questions and let me be your sounding board, but I also want to invite you to listen to what other people's needs are and serve, okay? This is so powerful for you. You know I'm here all about the high worth shift, high ticket sales, and we want to practice the most important skill when it comes to closing big deals. That is your ability to listen to the details that matter to other people, okay? Great. So let's talk about that. We have a lot of people who are looking for sponsorships. It's beautiful. So I'm going to break down what the 5 P's are, okay? Purpose, passion, partnership, presence, and persistence. And since those are here live, I'm going to talk about how this applies to you if you're looking for sponsorships. But I also want to share my own experience of what it takes to be able to optimize dollars for those on the replay if you also sponsor people, okay? If you and I have not had a chance to meet yet, I'm Elizabeth Yang, and I am a monetization strategist and sales mindset coach. I help service-based business owners create wild success with their sales on social media. How I do that is we focus on you becoming known for premium and solving that one premium problem that your premium clients are willing to pay a lot of money for. There's a lot of problems that you can solve, okay? But there's only one premium problem that your ideal audience is going to pay a lot of money for. And my job is to help you figure out what that is so that you can streamline your messaging and marketing and streamline how you're closing those deals. We also focus on shifting your high worth so that you have the confidence to be able to close high ticket. I've found over and over again that after we shift your mindset, the way that you see yourself as a high ticket closer, you get the confidence. And only after that can I hand over a strategy to any of the clients I'm working with that they can close powerfully. Okay. I have done this for people who have never sold anything in their life, and they close their first client for $3,000, and then they close their second client for $20,000. I have done this for other clients who have never sold anything in their life, but have closed a $25,000 client. So I know this to be true, that when you shift your worth, shift your confidence, and then you're given the high ticket premium strategies to close and generate leads on social media, it is possible for you. It's possible for me. It's possible for them. It is possible for you. Okay. So that's just a little bit about me. I'm going to go ahead and cover this in a little bit here. And then I also want to present to you, if it makes sense and you feel called to consider not only where and when you should think about sponsorship based on the stage of your business. I think it's really important that as you're looking to generate leads and sales in your business, that sponsorship, you giving your own dollars to sponsor others, where does that make sense to you based on your business? How many of you would like me to also share that insight? If you do, type yes into the chat, because I think sponsorship is a really powerful marketing strategy, but only when it's the right time for you based on your business. So shall we talk about that? If yes, type that yes in the chat. Okay. Then the last thing I'm going to wrap up with is that if you feel called to be a part of an opportunity that will really stretch your own marketing dollars through sponsorship, if that's available to you right now with the stage of business that you're in, and you are ready to up level your marketing for 2024, I want to share with you 2 client opportunities that I have been working with these business owners for 2024, that is going to just really take, I believe, not only their businesses to the next level, but really the possibility of taking your business to the next level. And the best part is, folks, visibility. Visibility is really key, and being surrounded by people that really are at the level that you're looking to up level to is really key. If you would love to hear about those opportunities in 2024, type yes in the chat and let's make that happen. Okay. So I want to see some engagement. Yes, 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 yes. Love it, love it, love it. Well, let's talk about the 5 Ps. Okay. Many of us here on the call today, live today, are looking for sponsors. So I'm going to answer this 2 ways. I'm going to answer it through you're the business owner and you're looking to secure sponsors. And I'm going to answer it also, how do I optimize my sponsorship dollars? Okay. So let's go through this from the lens of what do you need to do to get sponsorship dollars? Who is ready for that? If you're ready for that, type ready into the chat so that I know that you're here and you're present and you're listening. Okay. So I want you to think about this. These are the 5 Ps I used for myself, and these are the 5 Ps that I want to encourage you to build into your business. In order for you to attract top sponsorship dollars, I want you to look at these 5 Ps and be brutally honest with yourself. Are you building this out in your business, in your brand, in your messaging, in your marketing, in your social media? Are you doing this in your business? This is the lens that I want you to be listening from, because I am the first one to tell you, as I teach and coach my clients, money is actually really simple to make. What you want, you first have to be willing to give. You want $1 million? You first have to be willing to give $1 million. It's that simple. So when we're looking for sponsorship dollars, you have to be asking yourself, am I showing up consistently and frequent enough in my business to, 1, communicate my purpose? Just think about that for a moment with your brand, your messaging, your marketing, your social media, your sales. I'm talking about that. Okay. How are you communicating with your purpose? when you are talking about your social media, when you're talking about your marketing, you're talking about your messaging, you're out at events, is it very clear to other people that you are clear on what you stand for? What's your why? What is it that you stand for? Purpose is something that is really important because in today's world, where right now, especially in our community, there's a lot of people that are looking for sponsorships. Your purpose has to be so loud and clear that people feel that even without you making money or asking for dollars or getting sales, that you stand for that. What are you willing to stand up for? That's your purpose. Is it clear? The way that I like to test this as a sponsor, potential sponsor myself, when I am looking at businesses or people, influencers to sponsor, is if I scroll through your business page, your personal profile, like 10 scrolls, will I be able to grasp what you stand for, what your values are, what you're willing to stand up for? This is really important because when you are looking for sponsorships, people think that sponsors are just looking for getting their name out there, a bunch of logos to do good. That's not sponsorship. That's a donation. There's a difference. Sponsors want a return on their investment, then an ROI. At least I know I do. And so when I think about me as a sponsor and what I want to do to optimize my dollars, I want to know what your purpose is. What are your values? What are you willing to stand up for? Because I want to know the first thing, are your values, your brand aligned to mine? That's the P. That's the purpose. Because if you think about it, sponsorship is a marketing strategy, okay? And it's about multiplying your investment. That if I associate my name and my brand with yours, it's going to benefit me, just like it's going to benefit you if your name and your brand is associated with mine. So, how are you showing up with your purpose and your message? When I am sitting there as a sponsor and I'm looking to make a determination on who I'm going to sponsor, I look at, do I know their purpose? Is it clear to me in 10 scrolls? That has to be clear for you. Because most people, when they're looking for sponsorships, they're just like, how do I just get free money so that it doesn't cost me money to host this event, to host this or give that out or give away these freebies? Okay. And even though people may support you because they know you, they like you, and it's a great cause, and they want to mask it in sponsorship, that's a donation. It's not a true sponsorship. A sponsorship benefits both, and there's a return on an investment of time and money. Okay. And if you are sitting there and you are looking to optimize your dollars, this is really important for you to sit there and say, who do I want to align my brand with? Because who you are surrounded is also a reflection of who you are. And this is the ability to be able to quickly transfer trust and credibility in a brand. So if you want to grow your business and you're like, how do I get seen? You quickly sponsor the right people and visibility will blow up for you because their trust, their audience, their credibility, their values, their purpose will transfer to you as part of that. 100%. Okay. This is also a really great point to pause and talk about when is it a good time in your business to be a sponsor. So you might be looking to get sponsors right now because maybe you're in startup. And like I said, most people who are looking for sponsors are just looking for funding so that they don't have to, they can host an event or provide a service without money out of pocket. Totally get that. But if you're sitting there and you're like, when do I actually invest in sponsorships, right? Sponsorship is not really the fastest path to generating leads and generating sales. There's a lot of different marketing strategies out there. Sponsorship is not the fastest path to generate leads and sell your products or services. Most people are like, I just want to sponsor, get my name out there, and then hopefully I'll get sales. Sponsorship is not a strategy for that. What sponsorship is, it is all about brand awareness and brand building. It is a long-term strategy that you're looking strategically at your business and you're saying, who do I want to associate my brand with that is going to give me in front of a new audience? And what is the benefit of having that person be a sponsor of mine that is also going to strengthen their brand, because their brand in front of my audience is going to serve my audience. It is truly a win-win opportunity. So how do you know you're ready to start optimizing dollars and sponsoring? It's not when you have money, okay? All of us should have some sort of marketing budget, whether you're starting with $300 or $3,000, that you should strategically be having in your business. Okay. And when I get to partnership, I'll talk about how do you really optimize your dollars, because I have done the cold sponsorships where I just write a check and then I just show up at a table. And I have also done very hands-on partnerships, and I'll be sharing some of those examples of how I've done that so that you can walk away with some ideas on what you can do. Okay. So let's go back to purpose. Type into the chat, on a scale of 1 through 5, in your messaging and visibility on social media, how strong do you feel you are doing? How well do you think you're doing with purpose? Type that into the chat. 1, non-existence, all the way to 5, I'm slaying it. Type that into the chat. Okay. How are you doing with communicating your purpose on your social media marketing? Okay. Huge missed opportunity for you. Okay. As a sponsor, if I have to look at 2 people who have the same type of businesses, these are the 5 P's, but one of them is, is their purpose clear? Okay. All right. Second P, passion. This one is similar to purpose, but there's a difference. For passion, I want you to ask yourself, whatever event you're hosting, whatever cause, whatever purpose behind the events that you're hosting, is the passion there? Would you be willing to do it anyways, even if you had no money coming in? And if they were willing to give you all the free resources to host your event, would you do it anyways? Passion is really key. If you're looking to optimize your dollars and you're talking to someone, you need to be able to get the sense from that person. Would this person do it anyways if they failed? Would this person do it anyways if no one came this year? Would they do it again next year? Passion is so key. Because here's the thing that I've learned about sponsorships, whether you're looking for sponsors or you're looking to optimize your sponsorship dollars. Passion creates the experience of that event. If you are not passionate about your cause, your event, the reason why you're hosting that event, and your attendees come, participants come, they might appreciate the work that you do, but it doesn't really make an impact. And if you are looking to optimize your dollars as a sponsor, you better damn well make sure that that person is passionate about what they do. Because if you're going to put dollars into that event, that service, you want to know that your name associated with that brand, when their audience, their people come to that event, they have such a world-class positive experience that they leave that event raving and talking about it. Why? Because that positive emotional experience, that also transfers over to you. Passion is all about the experience. It's about the experience from the person that's hosting the event, looking for sponsors. And as a person that is a sponsor, looking to optimize, it is going to be the number one thing that is going to make your name memorable, because they're memorable, you're memorable. If their audience, their guests, their people had a great time and your name was associated to that event, you win too. On the flip side, think about it. If that person hosts and it's a complete flop, or worse yet, it's not even just a flop, but it was so offensive, people were so mad and angry, and you were a sponsor of that event, guess what also transfers over to you? That experience. This is why the passion is so important. So important. So I want you on a scale of 1 through 5. When you think about events you've hosted, whether it's a workshop or a bigger event, how has your passion been showing up? 1, non-existent. 5, slaying it. Type that into the chat. How is your passion? Right? If you are doing this well at your events, your services, your workshops, and you're creating a memorable experience, people that come will want to sponsor you. They want to be associated with you as a brand. So key. So key. Okay. Love it. We have some folks here with some pretty awesome experiences. All right, let's talk about the third P. Partnership. Partnership, partnership, partnership. So as I said before, as a sponsor myself, I've done the cold sponsorship, which I call is just writing a check, right? And that you get whatever package or tier that you get, and you simply go to a table and you simply just show up, right? And I'll tell you that right now, that has always so far yielded 0 results for me, okay? 0 leads, 0 sales, 0 followings, 0 likes, 0. Okay. The other thing I'll say about that is that partnership is so key if you are looking at people who can sponsor you. You want to know, I know that we just need dollars to host, but I also want you to just look at it as, are they a partner for me too? I just don't want to take their dollars. And what I mean by that is, are they willing to clear out their schedule to show up for this event? There's plenty of sponsors who will write a check, but not show up at your event. And you might be sitting there and you might be thinking, that's fine, I got their money, I don't care. But that's not the type of business that you should be building, not for the long run. You want to be able to look at attracting sponsors that are coming to the table like they're partners. Why? Because people who are willing to clear their schedule to show up to your event are also much more likely going to show up to help promote that event before the event. That means that you're selling tickets before that event. And that's really key. Because if your goal is to help offset your costs for an event, but also sell tickets, you want the right partners on board. You want them to not only clear their schedule and show up at your event to support you, because they have a table or a row or a reserved spot, but they're also much more likely to be able to willing to promote your event before your event and help you sell tickets. This is really key for you, okay, when you're looking at potential partners. So with that being said, and you think about your packages or your tiers, are you creating opportunities for hands-on partnership? So as I said to you, I've had cold partnerships or sponsorships where I just wrote out a check. Today, I will only do hands-on sponsorships. Most recently, I was a sponsor for a band, and they were very hands-on. And what I mean by that is, again, when I sponsor someone that has purpose and passion that aligns with me, right? We're talking about partnership here as a sponsor. I'm much more willing to clear my schedule, 1, show up for their event, and 2, show up to promote them. That's really key for me as a sponsor, is to be able to say, am I willing to do that for that person? Because if I am, they're worth my dollars. If I'm not, then why am I investing? Is it just a charity cause and donation? And if it is, so be it, right? And I will tell you that the more hands-on as a sponsor that I have been, I have seen a return on my investment. When I have worked with the local chamber and said, I'm going to be a sponsor, but I want to co-host events with you, I have seen a return on my investment, right? That's how I optimize my dollars. I'm a very hands-on person because here's the thing. If you're going to put your money and back an organization or a person or a business, why are you not showing up for that? Sales is about conversations. People have to talk to you. They have to know you. They can't just see your logo and be like, oh, I'm going to buy from her, especially if you're selling high ticket, right? And then the last thing I'll say with that is that making sure that you also have a clear strategy, a pathway of how you generate leads, how you close, how you follow up with people after the event. This is what I teach my clients about. We just don't host events for the sake of hosting them. Even if we're sponsoring, even if we're the one looking for sponsorship dollars, that behind the scenes, we have a very clear conversion strategy and plan in place that says, I'm going to promote this event. This is what my offer is. This is what I'm selling. This is the experience I want to provide. This is how I'm going to capture leads. After the event, this is how I'm going to follow up. This is how I'm going to have conversations. This is how I'm going to nurture and hopefully either identify collaboration opportunities or convert them into paying clients. So the partnership is really, really strategic on my end. Okay. Because again, I want to be able to maximize my dollars as a sponsor. So hearing that for you, as you think about your business, how are you defining and providing those partnership opportunities for potential businesses to sponsor with you? How do you feel about that in your business? So on a scale of 1 through 5, type that into the chat. 1, my partnerships are non-existent, all the way to 5, totally slaying it. Totally slaying it. This is really key. Okay. Really, really, really key. The other piece about partnership that I think is really important for you to also think about, because here's what I do not want you to take away with when I'm talking about partnership. I do not want you to walk away from this webinar training and say, Elizabeth said we should create partnership opportunities and it should be hands-on. So all of my sponsorship packages should pretty much be customized and I should have like 20 tiers. That is not what I'm saying. Okay. I was recently working with a couple of clients and they had probably a good 7 packages. Okay. Too many packages and tiers. I'm like, streamline that, streamline your events. And I even said, not only should you streamline your packages, but if you hold multiple events throughout the year, what you should be selling are not event-based sponsorship packages, but what you should be selling is your whole annual package for all the events that you're hosting, even if your price point is a little bit higher. And here's why. It's just much more efficient for you, and it's just much more efficient for the sponsors that you're trying to attract. But there's 2 problems that people often run into. First one, they don't have the courage to charge more. And it's not even more, it's actually cumulative, right? So for example, you host 3 events and you usually might look for a sponsor that's $1,000 or $3,000. Each event, it could be $3,000 total or $9,000 total. Most people are comfortable sponsoring events at $1,000 because $1,000 seems doable instead of saying, hey, I would love for you to be a sponsor for all of my 3 events at $3,000 or $9,000. That higher number scares people. So then people just don't do that. And what ends up happening, especially for you, the business owner who is looking for sponsorship dollars, is you're working way harder than you really need to, because every single event that you're hosting throughout the year, you start over. And I would rather you find the courage to ask for that higher price point and sell it once or twice throughout the year and be done with it. This is what I coach my clients on. 1, find the courage. 2, the reason why this is also so challenging to do annual sponsorships is too many of you are not organized. You're not mapping out your events throughout the year. For example, for 2024, you're just saying, let's see how it goes. Let's wing it. And that's half the battle. Because if you are not committed to making those 3 events, 4 events happen, because you're not sure where the funds are going to come from, then people will default to just selling that one event to see how it goes. And what ends up happening is that because you're doing that, you're constantly behind playing catch up. And that doesn't benefit anyone, right? So when I'm talking about partnerships, I'm talking about streamlining your packages tiers. I'm talking about finding the courage, especially if you host multiple events throughout the year, to find sponsors who are willing to be an annual sponsor and not just a one-time event-based sponsor. I know that number can be scary, but find the courage and work up to it. And 3, get your shit together, get organized, and map it out and commit and go all in. Those are the 3 ways that you're going to be able to really, really attract sponsors. Because again, why is that go all in and map it all out important? Well, think about it. We're talking about partnership. What are the first 2 P's? Purpose, passion. If you're not worried about the money, you're really there for the cause, the people, the work that you do, you trust and you choose faith that you're going to make those events happen regardless of where the funds come from. Period. And when you show up with that level of confidence and conviction, I can tell you, this is how my clients close big, big, big deals. People will say yes to you because you're so certain it's going to happen. You're not wishy-washy. You're not second guessing yourself, right? That's why partnership is so important. That's why I'm holding this webinar, because what I look at when I do the partnerships, especially as me, either looking for sponsors for myself or I'm looking at being a sponsor, these are some of the things that I look at. I have myself a sponsorship budget that I'm looking at. I know that I'm going to be able to plan out and say, these are the people, businesses, organizations I want to be sponsors for. I'm also going to have some money saved aside for random sponsorships that come up that all of a sudden might be of interest. But I have a process in place for myself. And I want you to also have a process in place for yourself. Because the more that you can show up with purpose, passion, and with a heart to partner with the right people to grow your business and grow theirs, you all win. Most recently, as I mentioned with my sponsorship that I had such not only a great experience as a sponsor, but I actually know with full certainty that my social media following increased significantly just by being associated with them, which is a great segue into the 4th P, which is presence. Okay? Presence. When I am talking about presence here, what am I talking about? 100% social media. 100%. And when I'm looking at presence here for social media, what I'm looking at is, are they consistently posting every day? And how frequent? So consistently and frequency are the 2 things that I look at. Why is this so important? Because as I've mentioned, as a sponsor, I have sponsored events before, okay? A flyer on a table has not yielded a return for me. But what has is social media. And this is why in your business, you have to be so consistent with your own social media marketing for yourself, for your business, because if you're looking to attract sponsors, they're going to want to know, is this person, one, do they have an audience that's engaged? I don't even look at the number of audiences and how big a size is, because I don't have a large audience size, but I have a very engaged audience. And what that tells me is engaged audiences, not quantity, but quality, always yields to sales at a higher rate than quantity. There's plenty of people I've talked to who are in the influencer space who has thousands of followers, but it does not convert into dollars for them because it's not the quantity, it's the quality of your audience. Are they engaged with you? And how do you find quality audience? Purpose. People are drawn to people with great purpose and values. So these all stack up and go hand in hand. It's not just, it looks good on paper, right? So how are you on your social media? Are you being consistent and are you being frequent? When you collaborate and you have sponsors, are you posting? Right? A lot of packages will say, I will promote you on social media 3 times the week of, I'll put your logo in the website, etc., etc. That's great. Those matter. But you know what matters more to me? An engaged audience. So how are you in your presence with your social media? On a scale of 1 through 5, type that into the chat. 1, non-existent. 5, I'm slaying it. And what do I mean by slaying it? This is what I call consistent. In today's world, you got to be on social media 7 times a week. So once a day, okay? Once a day. Once a day you're on social media. I mean, I'm at least posting 3 times every day. So in 1 week, I'm posting 21 times a week, okay? And we're not even talking about posts. I'm talking about reels. I'm talking about stories, okay? 1 through 5, be honest. 1, non-existent. 5, slaying it. 7 times a week. Once a week. Once a day, once a day, once a day. Be real with yourself. I want you to give yourself an honest evaluation, okay? Folks, so important for you to be consistent first to attract sponsors that want to sponsor you. Myself as a sponsor, I look at that because I know that with the power of social media, again, right? If you're already being consistent with your own content and me as a sponsor coming on board, it's not going to be extra for you. You're just going to do it. It's part of your muscle already. But the only time you're going to post is when you have a sponsor, but there's like crickets on your page or your profile. That doesn't serve me as a sponsor because you don't even have an audience or somebody who's engaging with you looking at your content because you haven't curated it. And it makes me wonder, are you really serious about your business? It makes me wonder, are you really serious and committed to your purpose? Are you really committed to doing what you're doing? Or are you just in it for the money? Are you just in it for some short-term gains? These are things that I think about when I look at who to sponsor, okay? I'll give you an example. This year, as I was looking for, especially in the Hmong community, I was looking for influencers, public figures to sponsor, okay? And I was willing to sponsor up to $5,000 to $10,000, right? Out of all the influencers and all the people that I looked at, looking at these 5 Ps, I only found 2 people. 2 people. Why? Because what I was looking at with the partnership was, are they doing a one-time event or are they doing something throughout the whole entire year? If I'm going to invest $5,000 to $10,000 in somebody, I want to know they're active year round. I want to know that my dollars are going to stretch throughout the whole year. It's not just a one-time event. Usually if I'm sponsoring a one-time event, I will not sponsor $5,000 to $10,000. It's just not worth it. It's not worth it. I haven't seen a return on my money at that level, right? And so when I say to you, presence is really important. I want you to remember as you're looking to attract sponsors is that your audience can be your potential sponsors. They're watching you. They're observing you. They're looking at how you're showing up every day, and they notice when you're not showing up. They notice when you're only showing up when you need a sale, when you need money, when you need a sponsorship. I often teach my clients, you got to give, right? I call it jab, jab, hook. So it's like give value, make an ask. Give value, make an ask, right? Jab, jab, hook. That's how you got to be showing up in your presence. I'm a big believer in sales. I think sales is service. I'm selling all the time because I'm serving all the time. But in order for me to show people that I really care about them, I have to be willing to show up first. I always lead by example. How am I showing up? If I'm showing up and giving, consistently, frequently on social media, my presence is strong, you're going to attract your sponsors. And if you are looking to maximize your sponsor, this is probably one of the top criteria that you should be looking at, because out of everything that I've done, and I've sponsored a lot of different events, the best ROIs have been the ones that have social media presence. If you want to optimize your dollar, this is really important. Why? Because every time that a person goes onto Facebook, social media, or online to Google search that artist, that organization, that business, they're going to see you tagged with your name associated with theirs. Okay? Every single time. It lives forever on the internet. But think about it. And an event, it's only that one-time event. And it's only that 1 or 2 times when they promote you on the social media platform to try to get people to buy a ticket to come to that event, right? So when I'm thinking about optimizing my dollars, that's what I'm looking at. Someone should ask yourself, if you're looking to attract sponsor dollars, where's an opportunity for you to grow here? What can you do differently with your strategy, right? How can you start to do the jab before you do the hook, right? How do you give value? How do you build that? How do you build those relationships first and give before you make the ask for a sponsorship? And this is especially important if you're starting to package your sponsorships and have higher dollar tiers. This is true for sponsorships. This is true for high ticket sales or high ticket offers. If you're looking to charge more, command more, ask for higher price points, trust is even higher. This is different than asking for a sponsorship at $100. It's still a lot of money, but a person that loses $100, it doesn't get anything. There's not, like, it's not as important, right? But you go from 100 to 1,000, all of a sudden now there has to be some trust there. But you go from 1,000 to 10,000, the trust needs to be there 100%, right? So the higher our price point is, the higher the relationship that your potential sponsors have with you and your brand has to be even stronger. Okay? Does this make sense to you? If it makes sense to you, type yes into the trainings. Yes, 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 so that I know that you're still with me. Okay? Yes, into the chat. The higher your price point in your sponsorship, the higher level of trust is required. This means that you got to be showing up consistently in presence online so that 1, there's credibility, people know you're legit. 2, they know, again, right? Presence, partnership, passion, and purpose. You're in it for the long run. You're in it for the long run. All right. So to give everyone some time, let's wrap up this 5P and then I'll share some of those opportunities, and then I will go ahead and open it up to the group from some Q&A. So our last P, persistence. What does that even mean? How do you even measure that? Okay. I want to talk to you about persistence because here's what I know to be true. And I want you to think about this for yourself. What I have learned over the years is when I am a sponsor and I'm looking to optimize my dollars, first, I want to support anyone who's doing amazing work, right? That's always like my number one intention. But I also want to know what round you're in. Is this your first event? Or is this your second, third, fourth, fifth event? Again, remember that all of this stacks up, right? The reality is there's more people that start new initiatives, new events that look for sponsorship dollars that don't make it to round 2. Why? Because round 1 is always the hardest. Always. So when I look at persistence, I'll ask about how many times have you hosted this event? How often have you done this? Because what I'm looking for is, are they going to persist even if that first time is hard? You know, you're a business owner, entrepreneur. First times are always hard. You got skill set, you got to learn new things, mindset, you got to push through things, random stuff that you never even imagine constantly being thrown at you, challenges and barriers. Things are always harder than we really anticipate that first round. But did you persevere? And this is a big criteria for me because this will determine not whether or not I will sponsor them, but this will determine the level, the number, the dollar amount that I will give to sponsor them, right? Because odds are, if you are looking for sponsor dollars and you're a little bit more seasoned, you're round 2, round 3, round 4, I know that you've persevered, right? But if it's your first time, or better yet, it's your first time, but then this event is completely different from your last initiative, and that's completely different from the last initiative that you did, and you're like all over the place like a ping pong, and you're just like trying out all these different events, looking for sponsors. I don't look and say, "Oh, you're multi-passionate." I look at that and I ask myself, like, does this person actually commit to something? This is why, again, going back and looking at purpose and passion is so important in your messaging and your brand and your business, because when you look like you're hosting different events that are not related to each other or has nothing to do with your business, that continuity, that common denominator, that thread that is like, oh, I get why this person is hosting this event and that event because it's related to their business, that like breadcrumb is so important, because otherwise, you're hosting different events, you're asking sponsorships dollars for different things. It just kind of looks like you're experimenting and you're all over the place. To me, that smells like someone who's unsure, who's not committed in their business in the long run. And if I was a sponsor, what I look at is I want to know, again, partnership, right? That we're going to do business together and that I can support you to continue to rise. And that at some point, you're going to be able to return that generosity and support me to rise when I need it most. I look at long term, I look at sustainability. I look at, wow, is this person really persistent and really intended to be around? So persistence, a good way to measure that. Is this their first time event? Is this their second, third time event? How is this event related to what I think their passion, purpose, and business is all about, what their brand is all about? Can I connect the dots there? Does it make sense looking on the outside? As a sponsor, that's what I'm looking for when I'm looking at optimizing my dollars. So for the question for you is, where do you have an opportunity to be persistent here? How are you creating a consistent brand across the board? I often coach my clients that repetitiveness, repetition is a good thing, especially with marketing, because the more repetitive you can be, the more consistent it feels. And the more consistent it feels, it increases other people's trust in you. That's a brand. That's a brand. So as we begin to wrap up, just a really quick recap. Ask yourself, in your business purpose, how is that showing up for you? Is your messaging clear with what you are willing to stand out, to stand up for? Passion. Would you be willing to host this event anyways, without pay, without hopes that there's a return? Partnership. Are you being smart and strategic about the people that you want to partner with and put in front of your audience? Not so that it benefits you, but so that it benefits your audience, that they're also gaining a win from the partners that you are bringing into your ecosystem and introducing into their world. You got to be, again, this is a passion and purpose. You got to be advocating for your audience. So the partners that you decide to partner with through sponsorship, they have to make sense to you and your brand. It's not just about collecting dollars. As I say to my clients, it's not just about the sale, not just because someone was willing to pay for you, okay? Because not every single client is meant to work with you, even if they can pay for you. Same thing with your partners. Presence. How are you showing up on social media? At least 7 times a week. Consistency, frequency, social media, 100%. It's a non-negotiable for me. Okay? Persistence. Is this the first time? Is this their second time? Is this their third time? How is that showing up? Okay? So with that being said, there's 2 opportunities I want to share that with you. And if you want to start thinking about the questions that you might have please start typing them into the chat or start thinking about that. So in 2024, I have 2 clients that are looking at annual sponsorships. I think that the smartest move that any of us can make if we are looking to optimize our dollars as a business owner is to sponsor business owners that have annual sponsorships. That means that they are promoting throughout the whole year. That means that they have events sporadically spread throughout the whole year. So next year, we have Mai Shang, who is the founder of the Here Conference and Hailed. She is looking for sponsors as well for next year. And so if you want to be part of an amazing community of just Hmong American entrepreneurship, she's actually going to be hosting her conferences last year. She had great success in Wisconsin. She's going to be hosting that again. I'm not sure if it's in Minnesota or Wisconsin. That hasn't been confirmed, but this is a great opportunity. I've been working with Mai to also make the opportunities for her sponsors high value, meaning that if your sponsors come on board, that they automatically get a spot at the workshop tracks that she's hosting at the conference. Again, because I want her to approach it as a win-win for herself as well as her sponsors. And for those that are watching this is a huge opportunity to become a very hands-on sponsor and partner where you are strategically writing a check and making and being a sponsor that isn't just about getting your name on social media or logo, but that you are actually showing up at the physical event and getting an opportunity to teach, coach, do whatever it is that you do in a workshop track that allows their audience there to experience you so that it increases your sales or the potential of leads for sales. Okay. Second one is Ma Vu. She is going to be doing a showcase for 2024. I'm really excited about what she's doing. She's doing a hybrid of online and in-person events. Knock on wood. She's going to be also showcasing and doing a musical production show at a performing arts center in Milwaukee. That's happening, and there's going to be plenty more opportunities as well. One thing that I've been working with her on is to help her create a hybrid opportunity of online and in-person local, and she's going to be partnering with other local artists, whether it's Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and other states like California, Seattle. Those are some of the different areas we're looking at. And it's going to be a huge opportunity for your brand to get in front of basically a wider audience than what you're doing locally, right? So if that's of interest to you, send me a message and I'm more than happy to get you in touch with them. At least explore it. At least explore it. So Angela asked the question, what business is Ma Vu into? So Ma Vu, you might know her as the artist. She also has her own marketing consulting firm. The sponsorships that she's looking for are going to be for the production. So almost like a show at the Performing Arts Center to help put that into production so that she can do different local tours. Okay. So I know that was a couple of minutes behind, so I'm going to just open this up. So who's got questions? Type that into the chat or unmute yourself. What questions do you have for me?
Hello, this is Angela.
Hi, Angela.
So, I sell Hmong clothing, traditional and Hmong inspired clothing. So I do live. I do live kind of like a few times per quarter, sometime more than a few times. And then I also post, but I think I may be posting too many times, like 3 times a day. And my son said, Mom, your business Facebook's gonna turn into a spam page. And I'm like, oh, are you sure? So what do you think about posting too many times?
I don't think that there is such a thing as posting too many times. And here's why. You're posting too many times, right? To your immediate quote friends that are connected, they may see the notification come up, but the reality is that you have no control over the algorithm behind the scenes on like Facebook, and you have no control over other people's like user settings. You know how sometimes you can turn off notification or minimize notification, right? So because of that, I think 3 times a day is not spammy. It might be spammy because to your son, because he might see you like immediate people might see that all the time. I think what's spammy though is that if you are posting 3 times a day and they're all about a promotion or a sale, I do think that's spammy. I think that if you're posting 3 times a day and you're giving value, like the way that I just taught it, which was jab, jab, hook. So jab is value, jab, value, and then your third post is then a hook, which is a promotion or a sale. I think that is great. That's a great mix of marketing and sales content. But if you are posting 3 times a day and the only thing you're posting is, I got a sale, buy this, buy that, that message is what's spammy, not the fact that you're posting 3 times a day. Does that make sense, Angela? Yes. Okay, great. What other questions do you have? I can take one more and then we can go ahead and wrap up. All right, so if there isn't any other questions, I would love to hear from you on a scale of 1 through 5, 5 being you totally love this webinar, all the way to 1, wish I didn't come. Type that into the chat and let me know, 1 through 5. And everyone's going to be getting a replay of this on our page, so feel free to leave me a comment, send me a message as well. 5 isn't great. Okay, 5 isn't 5. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. And I will go ahead and talk to you later. I'm planning to do these free webinar trainings at least once a month, so stay tuned for that. If you would like to sign up for our training, just type training to 651-565-6556, and we'll get you on the list. Take care now.